Madam Deputy Speaker, Great Yarmouth is a constituency like no other. In many ways, it feels 2 or 3 decades behind the rest of the country. What may seem to be a criticism is, in fact, the complete opposite. Countless other areas who once shared Great Yarmouth's unique sense of community, not too long ago, have lost that. In Great Yarmouth, everybody knows everybody, and if they don't know somebody, they know somebody who does. It holds a remarkable charm, unlike that anywhere else that I've experienced. My constituents care about their town, they care about their community, and they care about their country. As Harry Redknapp would say, a proper place, Chairman. During the European Championships, I can honestly say that I have never seen so many England flags in my life than in Great Yarmouth. Certain honourable members from across the chamber may have found this experience to be a reminder of past indiscretions. As is customary, I'd like to thank my predecessor, Brandon Lewis, for his contribution to the Great Yarmouth constituency over 14 years. It's a genuine honour to represent the UK's premier seaside tourist destination, narrowly beating Clacton and Skegness to the top spot. A billing definitively decided by a straw poll of constituents on Great Yarmouth's famous Golden Mile. A particular fan of the attractions in the constituency was one Anne Widdecombe. Taking her on the world-famous Snails roller coaster during the election campaign was an experience she's unlikely to forget. Her back held up rather better on the rickety ups and downs than my own. We are blessed with some of the UK's most glorious coastline. Great Yarmouth, Caister, Galston, California, Hopton and more. As those who are familiar with the geology of the area will know, my constituency's borders change on an almost monthly basis, as swathes of land are reclaimed by the sea, particularly in the charming village of Hemsby. Whilst other coastal communities have been rightly gifted the defences they desperately need, the good people of Hemsby have been left to fight the power of the sea. It's been a losing battle, and numerous constituents have lost their homes with zero compensation. In fact, one resident told me his property was worth minus £15,000 due to demolition costs. I pledged to fight for Hemsby, and that's exactly what I'm doing. The funding criteria, as promised by the now DEFRA Minister on an election visit to the area, must be urgently changed. We do not have time for the usual pontification. We must act before any more of my constituency disappears into the sea. I'm pleased to say that, amongst other things, I have already secured the reopening of the Hemsby Beach public loos. Decades ago, the ocean brought huge wealth to Great Yarmouth, both from fish and oil. Primarily known for its wildly successful herring fishing industry at its peak, it was one of the most important fishing ports in Europe, often referred to as the herring capital of the world. That wealth was stolen from the people of Great Yarmouth and transferred overseas through our membership of the EU. It is no surprise that my constituents overwhelmingly voted to leave the European Union. Evidently, a constituency with fine judgment. It is very sad that today, having been our largest fishing port, only one fishing boat operates from Great Yarmouth now, and there is no longer a local fish processing industry. Great Yarmouth's local football club is affectionately known as the Bloaters. The Wellesley ground contains the oldest wooden football stand in the world. I am now the proud holder of a season ticket, which was an incredibly kind gift from the club's chairman, following the donation of my first month's parliamentary salary to the club. Don't worry, it's been appropriately declared. A ticket perhaps of less financial value than some other members will have declared, but one which holds infinitely more real value for me. Being elected as Great Yarmouth's MP was the proudest moment of my professional life, narrowly beating taking Southampton to the FA Cup final in 2003 as chairman. Sadly, we lost that day 1-0 to Arsenal to a tidy Robert Pires finish. The town and its people have quite simply been let down and forgotten for too long, being at the end of the line literally and metaphorically. My constituents look around their town and they've seen their once booming home change beyond recognition. Uncontrolled mass immigration has failed Great Yarmouth, as it has failed the entire country. Just like the majority of the rest of the country, in 2010 they voted for lower immigration. In 2015 they voted for lower immigration. In 2016 they voted for lower immigration. In 2019 they voted for lower immigration. What did the Conservatives do? Allowed immigration to soar with no thought to the brutal consequences. In 2024, Great Yarmouth also voted for lower immigration. The difference this time is that I voice those concerns and fight as best I can to drastically reduce the unsustainable number of people settling in our country. The roads are packed, the hospitals are full, GP surgeries are bursting at the seams, dentists are inaccessible, quite frankly the system is broken, and mass immigration is largely responsible. Great Yarmouth has a very long history of proudly welcoming immigrants who come to the UK in order to work hard, integrate properly, and contribute to the economy. The current chaos could not be further from that. We have local people, particularly women, feeling unsafe in their own town. We're told that crime is down, but I don't believe it, and the town certainly doesn't believe it. We must be clear. The reporting of crime is down because many have lost faith that the police will act. I am determined to change that, and I'm running a public awareness campaign on the importance of reporting crime, one which I think should be replicated nationally. Yes, of course we need more police on the streets, but without reporting crime, nothing will change. There's so much to resolve in Great Yarmouth, but treating the symptoms can only be a temporary measure until the root cause of the issue, uncontrolled immigration, is tackled in Westminster. Our whole system of governance is broken. I have huge respect for members of this House who have entered with genuine experience from a career in business, medicine, the military, or however else. Sadly, we're a dwindling number, and the relentless rise of the career politician continues. From PPE at Oxford, to special advisor, to parliamentary candidate, to MP. This well-trodden journey serves nobody but the traveller and deprives the British people of the representatives that they deserve. Many members of Parliament lack the experience of the challenges faced by people in the real economy. A day on my farm or some work experience in one of my contracting businesses would open their eyes to the punishing reality of what hard-working Brits go through every day, much of which emanates from do-gooding legislation. I fear that everybody in Britain won't understand the damaging reality of socialism until they've experienced it. The only difference between this government and the last is that they may be more honest about what they're intending to inflict upon the British people. The political system serves nobody but itself. It's arrogant, it's out of touch, and it's incompetent. That's a potent mix which has delivered woeful government after woeful government. Who suffers? Decent men and women working hard to provide for their families. We need to back the risk takers, back the wealth creators, back the doers. As the greatest Prime Minister in many decades correctly said, let's back the workers, not the shirkers. If we're going to successfully change Britain, we need to change politics. The election of 5 Reform Party MPs, including me, is a politically seismic event in our two-party state. We are just